My name's Camille and welcome to my channel. I just make videos here that I like to watch on YouTube. So right now that's stuff about homeschooling, life with a bunch of kids, and all that goes with it. So today I'm going to be talking about homeschooling curriculum that we chose for this year, for the 2020-2021 school year. It's our first year homeschooling. I did a lot of research, but there's still so much I don't know about it. There are so many curriculums available out there, so many cool resources. There's just a lot. So it was pretty overwhelming at first. I narrowed it down a little bit by talking to a few of my friends that do homeschool, and then watching some awesome reviews on YouTube and following a couple mamas on YouTube that homeschool that really helped me out to watch. I homeschool a third grader, a first grader, a preschooler, and a toddler. I guess I don't really homeschool him, but there's that. And then I'm also 26 weeks pregnant, but I don't have to teach this one anything yet. I'm just gonna kind of go through the curriculum that we chose. For most of the things, because this was our first year and I knew that this was gonna be kind of a year of figuring things out, of seeing what works for us, I didn't want to spend a ton of money. Homeschool curriculums vary in price from free to thousands of dollars. So I didn't want to spend a ton of money, this being our first year, not knowing if curriculums were going to work for us or not. So I went with Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool, which is a curriculum made by missionaries who, while they were overseas, had to homeschool their kids. So they compiled all these different resources and lessons, and now they make those curriculums that they made available to everyone. And it is free. They do give you an option to give a donation of any amount that's on your heart to give, because that is their full-time thing that they do. So for most of the subjects, I went with Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. That is going to start with Bible. That is the first thing that we do every day. Pretty much all in one. The Easy Peasy All-in-One just gives you a reading plan for the grade levels that I'm in right now, which is helpful for me. I like to know what I'm supposed to be reading with them every day. We discuss it. And then something I added in, I just printed this off of the email. I subscribe to Miracle Word Ministries, and they have a ministry called Miracle Word Kids that their kids have made. And every month they have a new Bible reading challenge. So I just print that out. I'm still working on the one from July, but it was just one of the ones that I wanted to go through. So you can get any of them. And this one is declaration. So it just has a declaration for the day and a verse that goes along with it. And I just printed it out, put it in here. So we do our Bible reading for the day together while the kids color, or the older ones listen, but the little ones color here at the table. This is where we do our homeschool every day. So I thought it'd be a good place to do the video. I read the scriptures to them and we discuss it a little bit. We pray and we do our daily declaration from Miracle Word Kids. Next up that we do, one of the things I knew my kids needed to work on was handwriting. They could write, but it wasn't that great. So I knew I wanted them to work on handwriting, and I saw several reviews for the handwriting curriculum or just little workbook from The Good and the Beautiful. They have several levels, starting with preschool, doodling pages, all the way up through cursive and stuff. So I chose level 1 for my first grader, and I chose level 2 for my third grader, because in level 3 of the handwriting curriculum, they start on cursive, and I really wanted to make sure that he had his printing down and improved before he starts cursive. So it's just a beautiful curriculum. It's a workbook, so just print it off online. I found this little pair of binders at Goodwill for 99 cents. Sweet. You print it off online. I have a 3-hole punch, and so I put them in here. And it's just every day. This is something to kind of wake up their brain even more. to get started on school. Every day it gives them just a little handwriting assignment to do, and then a fun little art thing. Usually, most days there's some kind of fun art thing, and they start to say nice things like be nice and speak nicely and be honest. So it's just really good things that they're thinking about while they're doing their handwriting. I think that's awesome. And then later on, they'll start copying like verses and poetry and different things, and the artwork is just so beautiful in it. I think it's great, and they love it. They enjoy it. They grab it, and they are excited to do that as their first thing for the day. Then the next thing that we usually do, we don't have a strict schedule, but we do have kind of a flow of things. So after they are done with their handwriting, they know that they grab their math books. So easy peasy, all-in-one homeschool. You can do it all online. It has an online curriculum that you set up. You can just, it's all pretty easy to figure out on their website. I'll link it below. You make daily assignments, like a schedule for the kids. They can click on it. They know what they need to do. I wanted to this year kind of go with a minimal way with computers. I wanted to do more paper assignments as much as possible. They've been doing a lot of computer stuff since everything went down. So I just wanted to do a little bit more paper to start out. And they have that option. So easy peasy on Amazon, you buy these books for $5, which is fantastic. So the school that they were in before was a great school. It was advanced with their curriculum. So like in 3rd grade, he would have been doing 4th grade math. I really wanted to make sure that he had the math facts and everything down. So I went ahead and went with their grade that they're in for the math curriculum. And I figured if they're zooming through it then and they're bored, then maybe I'll go up to the next level. But so far so good. At first it starts out with a lot of review, which I appreciate a lot. But then as it enters in new concepts, it lets you know what to do, which is great. So I purchased the Easy Peasy Math Workbook 3 and 1 for my 1st grader. And then I also purchased the parent guides for each of them. So for every day, every lesson in the workbook, there's a corresponding day in the parent guide, and it just tells you what to do basically. So I always let them start on the page, and then if they have a question and if I can see they're kind of struggling, I go to the parent guide and it'll give me activities to help them to learn that concept or to just kind of practice it better in a more hands-on way. It'll give you different ways you can use manipulatives like Legos or little blocks or games or activities. So this is great. And then I'm not, you know, a math teacher. So this is definitely essential for me. And I know that as the grades progress, there's probably gonna come a time when I don't know how to teach that. And so this will definitely come in handy when those times come. And then maybe later we'll switch to an online curriculum that teaches them. I don't know, but for now this is working really well. So the Easy Peasy workbooks are found on Amazon, super inexpensive, and we are liking it. So far so good. Next is language arts. So this is actually my favorite thing that I got this year. I saw a lot of great reviews on Master Books Language Arts. There's a lot of little categories that we're required to teach our kids. There's reading, there's writing, there's grammar, spelling, all of those things. And so I was a little bit concerned about how I would teach all of those things. Well, this curriculum and how I'd piece it together myself was the thing. So this curriculum covers all of those subjects in 1 week in easy to swallow lessons, which is wonderful. So I got the level 3 for our 3rd grader, and it has like a 5-day schedule. So on Monday, there's reading comprehension. We read a story together. I ask him questions about it, and then there's usually like a little grammar lesson that day. I'm not gonna tell you what each day is, but each day focuses on a different thing, and it's kind of a rhythm that they go through each week. Each lesson lasts anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes we spend a little bit more time on the spelling day because I like to do a little bit more activities, and it's fun. So there's like fun activities to do with it that they suggest in the book. It's just an open and go curriculum. You just open up to the day. You don't have to prep really. They did suggest some manipulatives, like some magnet letters and stuff like that. That was more for my first grader, but they did suggest some things like that that you would want to have on hand. But most of the things you just already have in your house, so it's not super expensive. This was a really reasonably priced curriculum. I think it was like $35. And I'm just loving it. And I love how it also most days brings in some scripture, so more things for us to discuss. We've had some really great discussions based on the things that it talks about in here, and he's learning. He's totally learning from this. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's awesome to see. I love it. So for my first grader, she couldn't read yet, and I really wanted to focus on phonics first and kind of give her a foundation. It's called Foundations in Phonics. So it's also from Master Books. It's not the whole language arts curriculum yet, but it just has great lessons to teach phonics. I love the way that it does it through storytelling, Bible stories mostly, and it's just, gosh, I really like this a lot. It's been great, and it's for a half a year is this curriculum. So when we're done with this, we'll move on to level 1 Master Books language lessons for a living education. So yeah, I wanted to mention that with the third grade one, you buy this book. It's 101 favorite stories from the Bible, and this is what we do on Thursdays. And it's, you read a Bible story, they read it to you, so it's a great way for us to spend time together too. We sit on the couch together, he reads this to me, I ask him some questions to make sure he comprehended. So this is more reading comprehension. And then there's days where there's not a lot of reading in here, and it'll say to go do independent reading, which right now he's reading Treasure Island, the like beginner's version, not the actual Treasure Island book, but like it's a kid's version. He's loving that. So that is our language arts curriculum. Really enjoying it, really love it. Then there is history and science. So we went with Easy Peasy for those as well. These are not curriculum books. You can purchase them on Amazon, very inexpensive again. They're not curriculum books, these are just the printables. And I wanted to have them on hand just because going back, I don't think I would do that. I think I would just print them all off the website as we go, because I do need to print 2 of each. We are doing our science and history together, family style. So obviously the younger ones, it's not such a big deal. The 3rd grader is more the one I want to be paying attention the most, but everybody likes to listen to the lessons. They're very short and fun lessons. It's usually something that I have to read off the internet to them, or even a game on the internet. And then there's a work page in here. For science this year, we chose zoology. They have different courses to choose from. So we chose zoology. We're still learning about classifications of animals, but they really are enjoying it and they're learning. So that's the goal. That's great. For history, these are the history printables. We chose ancient history because I was like, well, we should just start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. And right now we're still learning about ancient Egypt. I do enjoy the little activities that are in here and the short things that I have to read to them online. I am thinking that I'll go with the Good and Beautiful history next year, just because of research. And that's what I knew this year was going to be, was figuring out what will work for our family. I think that the Good and the Beautiful history is what we're going to try next year. It goes from ancient times to modern times. Each year, they have it's a 4-year cycle where they focus on different things in each of those time periods, but you're not going to be in one time period the whole year, which I can tell I'm not excited that I'm going to be in ancient history the whole year. I will not show that to the children. So far they're not like bored or anything, but I am a little bit, and I think it's important for me to be interested too. I don't know, but from what I've seen from the Good and the Beautiful, I think that the history will be really awesome from them. So I think we'll try that next year. But for this year, this is great. And they're still young, there's time. But I did find that supplementing with books is helpful. So we went to, here we have a store called Bookman's. It's just like a buy, sell, and trade book store. And I found this awesome book called We're Sailing Down the Nile. And it has so much of the information that had to be covered. First of all, it has like a story about sailing down the Nile. And then it has so much information in the back about ancient Egypt, so much of the stuff that had to be covered. So it's nice to kind of find corresponding books that go with the lesson that you're doing at that time. It makes it more alive to them and it's more fun. And then this is one of the many books we found on animals because we're doing zoology. This one is the Usborne 1000 Animals book, and it was way less expensive than it would have been. It was like $4 when it's normally $15. Sweet. At Bookman's. And it doesn't have really information, but it has 1,000 animals in it. So we have enjoyed looking through here, the beautiful illustrations, and finding animals that we had no idea existed, and then going and reading about them. That's another wonderful thing I love about homeschool, is that we can just find something that we're interested in and look it up and learn about it. So I'm really loving that. For art, I haven't really found or started a specific curriculum on that. We definitely love the Art for Kids Hub on YouTube. They go through those lessons pretty often. And then they just love doing arts and crafts. We change this out almost every week, full of arts and crafts that they just do on their own. So I do know that I'll have to find an art curriculum, but for this year, I just wanted to focus on the basics at first, and then we'll start adding in those special things. But they love art, so they just do it. And then music is also something that's important to me, so I want them to learn more about that. So I'll definitely have to find a curriculum. If you know of one that's great for music, let me know. But hopefully in the future, there will be more music lessons that are available. I think it would be so cool for them to learn how to play an instrument. And then last but not least, for preschool, for my little girl, I just got this highlights. It's like covered in food. I got this highlights thing from Costco. It's just the preschool big fun workbook. She will pick pages from this and she'll do it. It's just a lot of like the alphabet and numbers and shapes and colors. And then we have flashcards of shapes and colors too. I'm not going super rigorous with her. She's a little kid and I want her to have fun and I want her to enjoy learning. So we do pages and she's picking up on stuff, but I'm not being super intense about it. All of the kids start the day out at the table together. The little ones will slowly fade away. And then sometimes I'll have to give them an assignment to keep them preoccupied, like building, build me a carport with blocks or a castle or something. And sometimes my little one will really want me to do flashcards with him because he just feels special doing that. So why not? And we definitely do a lot of reading together as well. So that pretty much, and then, I mean, coloring books. If coloring books were considered curriculum, we've got a lot of curriculum. Yeah, that pretty much just sums up all of our curriculum that we are doing this year. I'm excited to see how things go for the rest of the year and see what we're gonna keep and what we're gonna change and all of that. It's fun. It's a fun adventure. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to. And we'll see you in our next video. Thanks. Bye. What is your favorite subject in our homeschool? What's your favorite book to use?
The one when I trace letters and
Your handwriting curriculum?
yeah, and the one when I do color the stars.
Oh, your math book.
Mm-hmm.
You like your math book too?
Yeah.
That's great. I'm so happy you like it. That's awesome.
Hi.
What is your favorite curriculum or your favorite book that we use in our homeschool?
It's really hard to say. There are lots of great books that we do.
Oh, you like them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very glad. What's your favorite one?
Math.
Math. Good. You're very good at it. That's awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys.